So good evening, everybody. It's Shelley here from Gympie, and tonight's topic is all about recruiting. Russell's going to give me a hand.
Am I?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, you are. And basically, it's about how to recruit and why we should recruit, and just a few tips and things like that. So, of course, your mentors will have a recruiting system, and obviously, you know, I'm working on one at the moment. So, making sure you've got scripts and everything in place. So use what your team is using. If you're a different organisation, that's what I'd recommend, and copy what's proven. So we're going to kick off with some good news. So I'll start with Cara. I'll put you on the spot. You've had your Healthy Active Lifestyle party on Saturday. So how did that go?
Yeah, it was good. We got all Herbalifers.
Yeah, it was good to see the support, how many people would come and support you.
Yeah, it was good.
And if you think if we all just brought one person to something like that, how the numbers could just double like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was nice for your mum and for Tracy to come and get some results and try. It was actually very nice and relaxed. I thought it was quite lovely, actually.
Yeah, it definitely gave me it made me think about the way that we used to cater for things.
Yep.
Mm.
The food was amazing. It was beautiful. That fruit platter was pretty spectacular. And you hit a milestone. What was it?
What have we done?
Your goal.
Weight.
Our what?
Your weight loss.
Oh, I've hit 10 kilos. Yeah.
Yeah, so 10.1 kilos, and we've got some great. We've got our results recognition party on Saturday, so that's all the people that've been on the challenge, and just acknowledging results and giving a lot of recognition, because a lot of people don't get that. So we really make a big deal. Plus, there'll be lots of yummy things to eat with our guest speaker Luke, who's got a very inspirational story. So that's really cool. So thank you for sharing, Cara.
That's all right.
And Tori. Yeah. So Amanda and James, I know that you have some good news. So do you want to share both your good news?
Well, we qualified for the MAP program, so
Yay.
get a bag and the water bottle. That's cool. And look, I've been working on my daughter's mother to come on to some product for a fair while. She wasn't very interested to start with, but she's come around to the idea of getting some NRG to start off with.
Oh.
So that's cool. I'll keep chipping away at her about a few other products. I mean, I've already got my daughter on a few, so yeah.
That's pretty awesome. And
yeah, I'm chasing down the 10 kilo weight.
well, I know you are, so I'd love you to hit that. No pressure. I'd love you to hit that by the weekend, so we could give you your 10 kilo certificate. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
So which is great. And you and Amanda did a great job sharing your results on Saturday as well. I think there was lots and lots of great results shared, and hopefully we inspired Tracy just to keep going, and your mum, for that matter, Cara, to just keep going, basically. So thank you for sharing. Irene, what's your good news for the week?
Well, of course, it's about recruiting, and the last person that we recruited, it was very, very interesting. As you know, Conrad wanted a new car, so we had to go to Sydney to pick it up. And we went down to have a look, and we were talking to him, and I had my button on, which is here. I just covered it with a jacket actually. And we were just talking about cars, and all of a sudden he looked at my button and he said, I need to lose weight, but I'd like to get registered. And I was sort of a bit, and he said, oh yes, I know Herbalife. So he started. So really, the weight loss badge caught his attention, but he already knew that he wanted to get registered so he could look after himself and order what he wanted. At this point in time, I don't see him as being very team building. But you know, I was a customer first, and look at what happened to us.
That's right, yes. Excellent, thank you, Irene. Linda, you said you've got a new customer as well?
Yeah, I have one of the special needs mums who I never thought would have any interest, but you know, you always have to put it out there just to try and get interest anyway. And a bit like Irene, this lady had known Herbalife a long time ago, but then, you know, things happened with family. But she said all she really wanted was the aloe. That was something that she really loved. And so she went onto my website and then ordered that on, what day was today? Monday, Friday. So that was really nice. So, yeah. So I can't wait to hear what happens when she has a lot of intestinal issues. So looking forward to seeing what results she gets from that.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Libby. Well done on doing flyers today too.
Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't hot like it was up your way, but, an hour and a half, I went, yep.
That's cool. Well done. Planting those seeds is important. So we got a new client on Saturday. So she was an internet lead and she'd been on Herbalife before. I think she'd been with a couple of coaches. So I was kind of asked all those questions because it's been a few years, but I was just wondering why didn't she go back? Because I have a lot of people that come back after a while to you've got that connection. But anyway, I think she had a lot of life stuff happen. Kind of chatted with her, asked all the right questions, and so she bought in a quick start program with a herbal aloe because she gets a lot of digestive issues and anxiety. And I said not that I can make any health claims, but I think the aloe would be really good for your digestive system. So she's in Brisbane. She should get her program tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to following her up, and I'll put a starter pack in as well and a bottle. And the reason I did that as a supervisor is because she works at Pottery Barn Kids, and I know she is right in the public eye. So you never know, just referrals might generate from it. So I took it as an investment, but I don't recommend that everyone does that. I think that's it. We had a great time on Saturday at the Healthy Active Lifestyle Party, catching up with everyone. I do love seeing that everyone supports each other, and that's a real key when you get that group of people, sort of binding together like this webinar, but also in person. And I think it's good. I think we've got a really good community growing. That's what I think, and I think we're really just starting. It's really the beginning of something amazing that's going to keep growing. And so we're aiming for, because obviously at the end of the month on Thursday night, which I do have a slide for that, so I think we're up to 4,298. So I really want to hit 5, as you know. I want to get 5 because that gets us closer to Hamilton Island. So 702 volume points. I've just written a list of all the people that have ordered, people that maybe might be close to something I could go back to. Who hasn't ordered? There's a few on there, so I'm going to get back to them. Retail ones that maybe haven't ordered, and any leads that information packs I've dropped off and maybe haven't quite followed up again, get on the phone. And so I've probably got between 20 and 30 people to contact over the next few days. So that's one of my goals. So if you're trying to finish off, and I do know that James and Amanda and Michael and Cara are trying to finish off some goals for this month, just go through your list, go back to us. If someone of them were interested in trying some different types of products, including the skin, they don't have to buy the ultimate program, even though you get that cool trolley. Just go back and see. Yes. So that's what I'd recommend. And you know what? Just do your best anyway. And if you do your best and you don't get there, it's okay. But just try, because your business will grow and you'll grow anyway. There's something about a deadline, I don't know, that makes us burn the midnight oil a bit. So, and I think the universe kind of listens. So, okay, let's get on with our thing. Cool. So, the art of recruiting, the power of duplication. And this is why we recruit, because we want to duplicate ourselves in other people. In fact, you've done your job well when your group can do what you do better than you. That should be the wish. That's my wish. Is that your wish?
Absolutely.
So we've only got so many hours in the day, and you can only help so many clients. I think the most clients I've had is 54. Takes a fair bit of time to follow up those people properly. And a lot of them I was delivering products to, even when they're at 25%, and weighing and measuring them. So this is when I was at Adelaide, and it took up a lot of my time. But I did love it, and I did get a lot of referrals as well. So you want to leverage your time. You can help 200 clients yourself, or you can have 20 clients yourself, and then have 10 team members with their own 20 clients. Does that sound a lot easier? Working smarter, not necessarily working harder. And you want to duplicate yourself. Open up all the areas of the marketing plan so you can earn wholesale. And imagine having a couple of $1,000s in wholesale income coming in each month. And a really great royalty check, like Irene was saying. They were able to buy cash, use cash to pay for the car, right?
Yes.
To get a loan.
Yep. And yeah. Our own. I don't have any debts, which is so good.
It's a good way to get people's attention. Maybe you could just do that each week. Just go and buy new.
I told Conrad he can buy me a new car when I want one.
That sounds good. So,
A Lamborghini?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not, cars are for to get from A to B.
I could see you driving a 4 on the floor, Irene. You'd be all right.
No, the car racing I leave to my family in Ireland and England.
So, well, that royalty income's so powerful, right? It's so it's that lifestyle income, retirement income, and something that we can will to our children when we pass on and leave that legacy. So that really appeals to me a lot, and not having to answer to anyone. I do like that as well. So.
And I think as well, Shelley, it's amazing
In the earlier.
that each of us have the power to make a difference to a person's life, be that in health or be it in financial health. And I think to have that gift to be able to pass on it's quite humbling, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. Like even just an extra $500 a month, free and clear, that you could use for something for your family, for the photo shoot, Cara, or something to help with the kids' sporting interests or whatever it might be. There's all these things that you could do, to help your family. It doesn't have to be just for the kids, of course. So I put this slide in. Do you want to cover it?
I can cover it. That's
Cool.
fine.
No.
So, like Shelley's got here, where do you really want to be? And that's a question you have to ask yourself. Whatever position is, it's an individual thing. It really is. And that position then determines your income, and then your income eventually determines your lifestyle. Because we actually all do the same thing. We all do exactly the same thing. And you've got to remember, the higher you are in the marketing plan, so if you're up at World Team, Get Team, Millionaire or President Team, at the end of the day, like we were saying before, you could either help the 200 clients, or you've got 10 members, or you might have 200 members below you that have all helped. How many people then have you helped in Australia or in the world that's giving you that income? Because you've actually helped people. And if you look at it that way, more than I want X income, how many people can I go and help? Because that's important. And when you start, because when you're chasing just dollars, you stop helping people, and you have to consider that.
I think it's just something fun to do that, what even get you thinking more and bigger. And it's something I've had to really work on, because I always felt like I didn't deserve it, or I should just give everything away, like I didn't deserve that, in my mind. So I've had to really change my thinking and work on myself for that. And you can Google the pins and make up, just put something on your phone. Like I said, just whatever your focus is, because sometimes people aren't used to having goals. So if you don't know what goals you want to go for, use your Herbalife goals. Use your next pin. And of course, we could add Get 2.5 and Mill 7.5. And remember, there's even Chairman's Club, of course, plus more, like Trey and Mamie Heron. They just went 6 diamond Chairman's Club, 60K. And so, you're looking at a $200,000 plus royalty, not including everything
Whatever else they're doing.
a month.
The one thing about Herbalife that you got to remember that we don't always understand is there is no ceiling. There is no limit. It's not a limited environment, where in a normal business, in a normal job, there is a limit. So let's just argue the fact that I'm a hairdresser. There's still a limit on how many haircuts I can do. So then I hire new people. There's only so many chairs in the salon. I've got to build a bigger office. There is always a limit within Herbalife. There is no limit. There is no ceiling.
So imagine if you're a hairdresser, like if Sharon did this, right?
Yep.
If she just served instant herbal beverage and said, "Hey, would you like a cup of herbal beverage?"
That's
I'll go, "Wow, this is really nice." And she just retailed some herbal beverage to each client, and even if she got an extra 10 clients, what that could add.
Yep.
And she's really not doing it. Like they're offering tea and coffee anyway, which I always say no to. But
Yep.
I've always got a protein bar there. So imagine if she just did that. How many hairdressers and salons could you go and talk to about that concept?
Yep.
So
Well, I know that when I worked for Woolworths, we knew on any one day there was a maximum turnover or maximum dollars that company in our store could make, because at the end of the day, the store was only one size. I only had so many checkouts, and the checkout operator could only go at a certain speed, even if they went flat tack. there was a point where you physically couldn't do anymore. Couldn't be done. No matter what you tried, it physically couldn't be done.
And in saying that, I would be happy if I could help 100 people, 100 families to have an extra $500 a month
Yep.
free and clear. How amazing would that be as well? So you need to think about what sort of goals. If I help enough people get to their goal, I'm going to reach my goal.
Absolutely.
And it's a good way of being able to put your focus onto helping others, and in turn, it helps your success too. Did you have anything else?
No.
So how to generate leads, you need to talk to people. There's really no getting around this.
I can't do none.
No,
Oh,
well, you can do none, but the result is none.
none. Oh, okay.
Zero.
Right. Okay, cool. Just checking.
And look, and you know, something might fall into your lap occasionally, but it's going to be a very slow thing. So we have to talk to people, and we've got to be brave, because if we're putting ourselves out there, we've got to put ourselves out there for rejection and no's, and we don't, you know, and remember, they're not rejecting you if they say no. You really need to, and you just got to put your armor on like a water off a duck's back, and don't worry if someone says no, or you invite how many people come, some people don't come. It's gonna happen, because I remember at our events, it'd just be Trish, you and me, many times, and but I always knew that the people would come. We've got the bird cage as the centre. We're going to fill it with birds, or whatever it might be.
Field of dreams. Field of them, they will come.
Yeah. So, and if you talk to some, you're going to get some, and if you talk to lots, you're going to get lots, and that's different for every single person. You might choose 3 a day or 5 a day or whatever it is. I know Gary would do 30 a day. Look, everyone's different. That's a fairly high number. I think you need to pick something that you can manage and know that you'll hit, and then go, okay, I did that, and even record it in my diary. I've got a little thing where if I'm, you know, I've messaged someone, or I've called them, or spoken to them, who basically who I'd messaged, how I messaged them or called them, and that little voicemail thing, Cara, that you can, it just works like magic. Such a good little thing in Messenger, the little microphone that you push. You got to keep it down, because if you don't, it'll just go whoop and it goes off. But you got to hold it down. It goes for a minute, but you can do multiple, and it's a great way of getting your emotion into a message. Hey, just letting you know I'm thinking of you. If you need any help, let me know. I'm here for you. I believe in you. You're doing great. I'm proud of you. Whatever it is that feels like you don't have to use my words, but just by messaging people. And then I put who responded back. I have a little codes that I use, so I know how many I messaged and what response I got back from that.
So the biggest thing on there is the last thing you've written on the page.
Be consistent.
Be consistent.
How hard is it to be consistent?
Extremely.
Look at that squat thingy challenge. How inconsistent was I? Very inconsistent.
That is the hardest thing to do, is be consistent. And as hard as we push at times, it is the hardest thing to do. So there's no point picking 30 a day and doing it once.
Yep.
It's a waste of time. You're better off to pick 1 a day or 3 a day and do it every day.
Yep.
You are far better off. If you can get that consistent approach, that's what makes the difference.
Sometimes it's just one.
Yeah, sometimes it can be just one. And look, at the end of the day, if you can only do one, talk to one person a day every single day, you're actually in front of probably most people. You really are.
So we went to Karen today. She's a beauty therapist, and she's on the Glow Lean. She loves it. She calls it the colon cleanse. And anyway, so I left some Luke Fortescue things on her thing, because she said she has a lot of people that go in there for massage and everything. And so I've left this few. So, if you don't ask, the answer will always be no.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So yes, no, you're not. Just pick a number. So this is really important when you're talking to people. So easy to do. Oh, they wouldn't be interested. Oh, they look like they're doing really well. Whatever it is, we come up with all these reasons not to talk to that person. And so, just know that your job is to offer them the opportunity, not to decide for them. So, and it's very easy to do. And so I want you to really think about that, about how amazing this opportunity is. And and being brave enough to offer the opportunity. Hey, if you'd like to do an extra $500 a month, or hey, I know you love helping people. It might not even be money for somebody. I know that you love recognition, or whatever it is. But Luke Fortescue is a really good opportunity to be inviting people into, or whatever your next event is in your area. Anything else for that? So talking to people, again, we went through the retail one the other day, or last Monday. This is the recruiting menu. And look, there's heaps and heaps of other things that you can do to generate, but I like these ones. People you know first, make sure you go through your centre of influence. And of course, a lot of your customers make great members as well. And even if they're not getting registered initially, if they're doing it just for the discount, know that if you keep inviting to things, they might see the big picture. I know that happened with you, right, Cara? You came along to the Let's Go More just to hear results and you know, get some nutrition info, maybe try some recipes, but then you got to see the opportunity as well, which is really cool. Wearing the brand. So I went down to the school today twice because I got to go take Caitlin this morning. I've always got my button on. Then I 3 times went to school, dropped the bags, and then I went back for the school art show thing. So it was good that I was branded the whole 3 times. Or yeah, wearing a button or the brand, either way. I've always got flyers on me. I've got little business cards even in my phone. So if I've only got my phone on me, I know. But of course, guess what? I can get their number. Running some ads. So I've done some posts you would have seen, but I've left most of the Gympie groups free for you guys. From Cara and James and Amanda. Please post away. Post as much as you can for Luke. That you're invited one, or however. You notice I've kind of done a few different ones. I've put a little spin of making a meal prep, and look at that yummy smoothie bowl and his result. So I did it generic, which means I didn't mention Herbalife, and the other one I think does have Herbalife on it. So you can choose how you post. So please feel free to copy my posts, not just copy the wording, save the image, and then post in the groups. You know, there's like 26 Gympie groups, and I only posted in one, just so you know. So I did pages, but they're just pages I've created personally. The Mary Valley one I created that, so I've got about 800 or 900 people. It's taken a couple of years to build up those numbers, but you can create your own groups. I know I've talked to Lindy about this. I've just done one in the 8 Mile Plains area. Just created it. It's only got 1 person on it at the moment. But if I build up enough numbers and start posting, and so you know the groups, the buy, sell, swap groups, Irene?
Sorry?
The buy, sell, swap.
Yes.
Right, so I created one in the 8 Mile Plains area.
So I still need to figure out how to post.
Okay, I can show you. And so I created the group because guess what? I want to build up an audience, like get lots of people to join it. Then they're all posting about all their community stuff and stuff for sale, which is fine. But guess what I get to do? I don't have to ask any admin for permission because it's my group, and I can put as many posts. I obviously would do it tastefully and not overload it. So you could do that in any area that you wanted to do.
Okay.
So, for example, Irene, I would definitely be doing a Peregian Beach one or a Sunny Coast one. Lindy knows one for the Canberra area.
Yeah, cool.
You know. So you could think of where do I want to post and what area do I want to do, like having a Waibay one or a Kalula one or another sort of Gympie one. Building up. There's lots of Gympie groups, and they've seemed quite happy for you to post it. I would be posting away this week. That's how I got Trish. Trish saw that I just did a sports nutrition one in one of the groups. I don't know which one it was about that event, and she came along.
So can I ask you, when you create your own group, do you just then say, because if you're inviting other people to put in community events and things like that, you don't want an opposition to what you're then selling, do you?
I don't let any other Herbalife people post in there.
No, but I mean like
or any other company. For
No,
that
okay, that's what I was trying to get to.
So
Okay.
you approve the post before it goes in. So yes, it's a little bit of time, but you just do it whenever it suits you. So the Mary Valley one, there's always stuff, pending requests for people to join it and pending posts. But if I've got someone that is in competition with me, they won't be going in there.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
My group, I get
the pending
to choose.
post becomes unappending and it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I haven't done it yet. I was going to talk to you about because I wasn't quite sure yet, but I'll have to stop procrastinating, just do it.
It's that's a whole other training, just so you know.
Yeah, maybe a good idea. Yeah.
But, get creative. There's lots of different ways, and just got to be patient, let it build up. But it could be something you're really passionate about. Like, for example, James, like a truckie one, Truckies Nutrition Group, Australia or something. Or Truckies Stay Awake Naturally Group, whatever you want to call it. You can come up with some things and themes And look, some of them don't work and some do, but you don't try. It's not going to cost you anything, just a little bit of time. And if you've got time on your hands, that's what I would definitely be doing. So yeah, so social media, I've just got all the, actually we'll attach it in the group, Challenges of Day, all the guidelines and training from Herbalife. I just found it, so I'm going to repost that so you can have a look at it. Walk and talks, which is just going out and talking to people in the street, in businesses, wherever people gather. Asking your clients to come and take a look. Obviously, 70% of the President's team are clients first. And Irene, Millionaire team, paying cash for their last car, brand new car, you know, client first. So definitely customers make good distributors. Posters, pull tabs, posters and signs need to obviously go where they're approved. Ask permission. People that live on busy roads, I know we're talking to Amanda and James about that, being on a busy road and people can see it, and having some signage up.
I actually got the go-ahead to be able to put one on my place, eh?
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And you know what? Having an idea is one thing, then taking that next step to see if you can do it next, and then getting it out there like that, you know. So it's great that you're taking action on that. It's really, really important. Asking for referrals, car signage, which I love that one as well, and many, many more. Choosing the floor for the stability, so that, you know, you get a massive storm come through, you know, or the weather changes and it's snowing again in Canberra and you can't go out and do flyers.
Why not?
That you've got something else that you can do as well. And again, the most important thing, right, is
I'll be consistent.
yes.
Okay. But you could do flyers when it's raining.
Yes, you could.
You laminate them pre-hand.
Yep. You could do some lucky spots in car parks and have them laminated and just do every 10 or 20, you know, and just say congratulations.
No, because if they're laminated and you got your gloves on, they wouldn't stick to your gloves when you're putting them in the.
I don't think it's a good idea to sit in the pub and just have a few drinks and fly them around the bar then. Okay.
That's all right.
You can change all the coasters over to yours.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
I know, Cara, you had a really cool one with the Christmas lights. Oh, I came up with this idea. I had an idea. I think everyone can use it. I had to come and write it out last night, didn't I? I have an idea. Cara will love this. A like Herbalife Nutrition sponsored, like your local Herbalife coach, where all the Christmas lights are, like a quick guide. Because people always ask on the group, right? How many people ask? I know this has been asked before because so if you did like a guide and then everyone put their details and you just share it all the different groups. So don't worry, I'm onto it, guys. And you could do that in all your areas. So Irene, Lindsay, and anyone else that's on the call.
So you've got to go and look at all the Christmas lights over every night there to make sure there's any.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cara can find that out because she works for the
Oh,
council.
that's only the registered ones though.
Yeah,
I'm
that's okay.
fairly sure my children will find them for us.
Cool.
So, and you can have, you know, Tori and Evie's top picks or something, you know, make it fun. And we could even do like a little live video. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff we could do to make it fun and get people knowing who we are. And you know, the ones that are really good at it is that Anchor Realty. I've been watching them and their little videos and how they go out and into the
I'm glad you're the social part of this business. I really am.
We actually have a big Christmas lights on the corner of our street.
Yes, I saw that.
So we get a lot of traffic in our tiny little lane over Christmas. And
Oh,
one of-
good. So you park your car that's got all the signage on the back when they're doing the lights and they can see
And
you.
you hand out candy shaped flyers.
Yeah, I might just have to stand out the front for a few weeks.
So you know what? There's just, and Michael could get like, he could dress up as like a reindeer or something and go out and hand that. You know, you can.
He's gonna love you, Shelley.
Ross said he's happy to join you.
No.
Thanks, Ross.
He's to be the elf. It'll be great. Anyway,
Can we
you know,
move on?
yeah. So, but you know, Irene, what did Con do with the sandwich board? Was that him?
No, that was actually not Conrad. He didn't do the sandwich board. We did. He did a lot of walk and talk. He did pull tabs. He did signage on the car, and he also then what he did, which I think we forget or we don't adjust it, and that is because he speaks German and French and Italian. There are always those groups of people who have their own special newspapers. And so he put an ad in the newspaper, the German newspaper, for example, and people would ring up and Some rang just to talk and speak in German, and others were interested in what it was about. And that's actually how we got our whole German group, which went on to all the different countries, down to Turkey and what have you, and to our president's team, you know. And so
I think how exciting is that? How cool is that, guys? So I only speak one language, but could I advertise for someone that speaks more than one language? Absolutely. Hey, I'm looking for
not only that, you're very artistic, you're very, you know, so you could, that's a gift you have, and you could utilize that to open an avenue for you. Or you as a truck driver, or a truckie, you have a unique niche. It doesn't have to be a language, it's just a niche. Lindy has a special niche. I'm still trying to figure mine out. But, you know, seriously though, there's always niches and that's something that we shouldn't forget, because in those niches there are people who need you and who are looking for you or waiting for you to find them.
That's cool. Thank you, Irene. That's awesome. So what a great group we have. Okay, so Irene has already shared her last one, which came from the car sale. I know some of our last ones were people that have got renewed, came back on board after so many years, which is great. So
never give up.
It's funny how some people, so one was 3 years, I think one was 5, and there was one that was just a couple of months, and the last one come off a flyer as well, a recruiting flyer. So
you just never know.
That's right. Which is cool. Cara, where did your last couple of members come from?
Our last one was my mother-in-law. And the one before that is from work.
Cool. Awesome. That's good places to find people. What about you, Lindy? Where did your last couple of members come from?
That would be in Queensland, and then both parents got sick, so they just stopped, and then now just come back on board again.
Cool.
So, and that's 10 years.
And you've signed up some of your carers as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot that. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. So one's just happy being at the 25%. That's just happy. The other one's at the 35. So, and now just going, I can just see he's just watching. So I think, yeah.
Sometimes the people around you are the ones that get influenced because they are watching. They might not even say anything. And obviously, Facebook is great for that. And others, I don't really do anything else, obviously, other than Facebook. But if you did other platforms, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But just being out there and enjoying life and being present. I like getting involved in things. That appeals to me, especially stuff at the school. I'm more.
Well, see, your advice a while ago, you were talking about you did something at Girl Guides, is that right? Girl Guides?
Yeah, I've done the Scouts and the Girl Guides. A talk on I've done 2 talks at the Girl Guides. One was on sugar, guessing how much sugar was in something. The other thing, we went and did a healthy eating session, so they had to make some things.
Yeah, well, I messaged them today and they said, oh, that's really good. They'd get in touch with the local group first, and then maybe I can do everybody. And yeah, so that was nice.
And we're doing the RSL with Helen next month, so that's exciting too. So yeah, look, there's lots of different ways of getting out in the community for sure. So okay, so there's lots, and we obviously do for our clients full retail first month always. We do not offer the signing up process though until we know they love the products. If they don't love it, signing them up is not going to solve anything. So we're very, very strong on that. So if they have to do retail for a few months until they're ready, that's fine too. And look, some people they just want to be retail, and that's great. But I'm always looking for that person that I know that just might be able to help a couple of their friends and family, because that's probably where it starts from. And if they're happy doing that the whole way, great. If they want more, that's great too, because there's always more available. So what to say? So sometimes we don't know what to say. And I know I've got a couple of recruiting scripts in the file section of Challenge Yourself Daily, and there's lots of other scripts as well that you can use. So you want to use a set of words that feels like you. It's a proven script, one that leads people through. One, I guess, it's getting to know them, then letting them know who we are, and then booking them into something to because the script is really just a screening process to see if they're serious or not. If someone said to me, oh no, I'm just looking for a job, no problems, but actually looking for people that really want to have their own business, thank you very much. Or I might go, oh, by the way, if I send you a recording, would you have a listen, or would you like to come in on Saturday? We've actually, I've got an event on Sunday between 12 and 3, and you can actually come and see what we do and see what the community's like. So there's a few people on my list to still invite. I've done a bit of inviting, but I've got more to do. So you want to screen out the people that aren't serious, because it's okay if someone says no or it's not for them, because you still need people to serve you at the restaurant and, to give massages and to, help you, different things. So, we need people to do everything. Not everyone's going to be a Herbalife member. They might all use the products, but they might not ever all be coaches, and that's okay. Have the script near you in your phone, in your diary, wherever you are, so you're prepared when you call people back. I don't take live calls very often. It just depends on how prepared I am and what my attitude's like. If my attitude's on point, I'm going to speak to them if they call. And definitely attitude is everything. So if you're not having a good day, my advice is don't talk to them. Go have a Herbie beverage, go and do something positive, bring your best client, do something to get your attitude right, then talk to them. Okay? There's always
You mean put that business voice on?
Oh, I don't know if it's a business. I think you still just got to be yourself.
You mean what I do when suddenly someone rings and I can flip from being oh yeah, not a problem, they'll be fine.
I know you sound like a manager. Funny. So you've got to do whatever you got to do. So before you call, practice the script with your mentor, family, and friends. Great way to expose them to it anyway. Just saying, hey, I need to practice. Develop the right mindset. So knowing that you deserve success, that you want to have a team and you want to help impact others. Having a Herbie beverage or a lift off like I did before this call. Listening to Jim Rohn and other personal development people, Tony Robbins, you've been listening to a few of the guys from Impact Theory. Reading your goals every day, and you want to learn how to lift that vibration level up, because you need to be enthusiastic and excited when you're on the phone, because people will pick it up. They'll know. They're only going to pick up like 20%, so you've got to really lift it up. And sometimes it feels like you're not being yourself. It's like, oh, this isn't me, but you've got to realize it doesn't translate through the phone, so you need to pick up your energy. Stand up if you have to. I was told by Merv, stand up when you're talking to people, because it lifts your energy up and people can feel it.
And I think another thing as well, Sherry, is have a shake, because that really does help as well. And it changes how you talk.
Yes, it's interesting, because we got home the other day and I said I really need a shake because it was later than normal. I just felt like, how that top up comes. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting topped up with, my fuel. I just feel so much better after I've had my shake. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. So we do have some scripts if you're not sure, but we can also help put a set of words together that sounds like you. But really it's just screening people through, letting them a little bit of know what we're doing, and then getting them to listen to an opportunity meeting, which gives them all the facts, and they're going to hear lots of results. So we either do a live one or we'll do a recorded one. And I think we'll have to put a recorded one together for the group as well. I think we need to do that so that everyone can use it, because I know Kara's been asking me, and whatever I did to convert the other one didn't work.
Which one?
One of the ones from the Queensland.
Oh, it didn't work.
Oh, no, it's not playing. Anyway,
okay, cool.
We'll work it out. There's always a solution. Using form, as we know, family, occupation, recreation, and listening for the message of why they're dissatisfied, sharing lots of results and stories. If you can share a story about someone else's background that relates to that person, and that's just by going to events. And so obviously on Saturday, you're going to hear another person's background and story that you can use to relate to someone else when you're talking to them. And then ask for a decision. What would you like to do? When would you like to get started?
What flavor do you want?
Yep. What program did you want to have with your member pack? Because there's no way I'm going to sign them up with a member pack if they don't have a full program with it. Okay, so I know there's exceptions to the rule. James, I know you start on small amount. There's always exceptions, but if you go, this is what you need to start with, you'll get them a stronger result and a faster result as well. So that's what my main goal is for that. And look at what you've upgraded onto now when you think about it. So inviting them to a Herbalife opportunity meeting so they can hear more stories and people to relate to. We've got such awesome stories on Saturday. Like, how cool are all the results that were shared at the Healthy Active Lifestyle Party? Was that 10 results or 9 results or something? It was pretty awesome, and all different personalities, different ages and backgrounds. It was really great. And you just want to keep inviting people until you get a no. And you know what? Sometimes no doesn't mean no forever. And I don't mean harassing someone, but just, hey, this event's coming up. Like, there's a girl, Amanda, who I've just been inviting, and to each thing, because she always seems to respond to some things and then nothing happens. I think it's someone you know as well, Cara. And so anyway, I invited to Luke again. She goes, "Oh, I'll see how I go, but I'm not going out of town." It was like really non-committal. I'm like, okay, she's not serious. That's okay. I'll just keep inviting. I've got like probably 20 people like that I'll just keep inviting. And one day they might just say yes, or one day they might block me. But it doesn't matter. Either way is fine, right? Like it's not going to matter to me. It's going to matter to them.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel sad, but I was like, oh no, they don't want to do it. I feel so sorry. They're missing out on all the fun. Follow up. Did you want to do this? Or you want me to do it?
You can do it. You haven't run out of voice yet. I like it.
The lift-off's kicked in.
Oh, well, then you definitely should do it if the lift-off's kicked in.
I was feeling a bit nauseous before the call, so I was just like, oh,
pregnant?
I don't know. I think I'll just go and lay down, and then it's like, and then I've got up, and I'm like, okay, lift
Look
off.
at Lindy's reaction.
do it. So following up, get the person's
Run away.
We'll be right. We've got a whole team that will help. So, get the person's details if you can. That's why the mobile phone's great. So, hey, I'll send you through some information. What's your number? 04. Or, hey, do you want to hop on Facebook and we'll become Facebook friends and I can add you to blah, 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 whatever it is. And just follow up to invite and ask for that decision. No doesn't mean no forever. People's situations change all the time. People are moving in and out of the area. So whatever letterbox you did might have a different person living there. Plug people into our community and your community. So you have to create one if you don't have one, and just drip feed the information and, the enthusiasm and results recognition. If it doesn't rub off on people, it's okay. They're just not, they're just one of those people that isn't going to do it, and that's okay too. So ultimately, we're looking for dissatisfied people. So you want to find out what they're dissatisfied with and find a Herbalife solution. Or of the community solution as well. So you want to become a really good problem solver. So for example, James, your ex-wife, she was tired, but you've also invited her to Fit Club as well.
Yeah, she's just run down because she does a lot of hours. She's a disability care worker. So, doing big hours, lots of days. Yeah, she was just run down. And, when I dropped off the NRJ to her, she asked me about the Fit Club because she knows I've been going to that. So she's looking at
such a great
into that when she didn't get time.
So last week, so I think Emma was sick for the week before that. You had Amanda and James, then you had the 3 kids. So it's just going to keep growing. And how cool is that? And then Michael and Cara bring their little kids, and the 2 girls, and there's just like so many people. It's just kind of growing and growing, and it's great because everyone's all doing it together. So I think it's kind of contagious. You can see it's just going to keep expanding. So I think it's really cool that you're doing that and really affecting the people around you. I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. So become a problem solver. Following up. So once you get someone signed up, you want to go through the setup steps. And you would have heard with Mark Paulson, basically went, get registered, definitely get them on whatever products they can afford. If it's a full program, get them on that. I know I started on a quick start program when I first got going because there wasn't anything, and I'm sure a lot of people chose an ultimate or whatever fit in with their budget at the time. And you want to, I follow my members up like their clients anyway. So I would still use the profile chart and the results chart and everything, and still do all the follow-up exactly the same. You want to teach them good follow-up through example. And it doesn't matter if they need to gain weight or lose weight or just maintain good health and working on whatever health result they want to, it's still a result. Their product result and how they feel about the products is their biggest asset.
That is the biggest thing, because honestly, without that product result, that is what keeps people going. You have to love the product.
I want people that love it like I do, that couldn't imagine not having it every day. That feel amazing on it, that they're looking forward to having their shake. If someone says to me, oh, I'm so sick of the shakes, I'm like, really? Why? But you can have it all these different ways. You can eat it, you can drink it. There's all these flavors. Like, didn't you see the recipes on Saturday? But, it's...
Or James's cinnamon donut. Tried that this morning. Pretty good.
How good is that, eh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've got to give the kids a try. I told the kids that, oh yeah, James said it's cinnamon donut. They're like, oh, can we have a try? And then I forgot to do it like this morning, so Hannah just reminded me tonight, yeah, you've got to give us a try, Mum.
Well, we've been drinking it as a hot drink, chai. And
Yeah.
I was just like, I've got to try it in a cold drink. Like, that'll be like, yeah, pretty good. And it was awesome.
And just that enthusiasm about a recipe is contagious. And then
Making product makes so many people look at what's in your lunchbox at work, or like that's recruiting in its own, isn't it?
Yeah.
definitely. So we could have a recipe book for all the people's their recipes. So it might be Lindy's something green smoothie, and then you got James's cinnamon donut, and every person's got something that it's theirs that you could have. Like I had someone say, because I was doing the rebuild with the CR7 to make the Turkish delight, but someone said they were mixing it. Who was that with the Formula 1 Sport? Oh, was that Michael? And he said, and it's supposed to taste really nice. So I think I was going to do like ice Vovo shake or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And like you can get the photo of whatever it is, like the donut or the ice cream. You can actually come up with really cool posts. Hey, I've lost 9.4 kilos drinking cinnamon donut shake. Find out how. How cool would that be? So, you want to have fun with it. If you're like, I'm crazy. I am crazy. So go through the setup steps, member pack, program results, and make it fun for them and enjoyable. It should be enjoyable. And
One at the goals.
the goals, thank you. I was actually forgotten the next one. The goals, what do they want? Why are they doing this? What's important to them? Really get to know people. And so the next one was one other thing. Goals and
The COO list.
thank you. God. Sorry about that, everyone. My brain's not working. So who do they know? So the center of influence list. And you really need to make sure people do it, because if they don't, what do you mean, Lindy? They need to go through their list and talk to people they care about, and at least let them know what they're doing, because you do not want to be you don't want to go to the summit and your cousin or your brother or someone is sitting there as a guest signed up. How would you feel? Yeah, you don't want it to happen. So I'm just saying, just let people know. You don't have to sign everyone up. You don't have to sell products to everyone. You just have to let them know what you're doing. Hey, started a business. We're Herbalife nutrition coaches. Just thought if you know anyone, James, I've lost 9.4 kilos and 13 centimeters of the stomach, and Amanda's lost 2.3 kilos and 27.5 centimeters, something like that. And we're getting great results, heaps more energy. If you know anyone we could help, could you let them know? You just got to be brave and be okay with rejection. They're not rejecting you. It's probably something in themselves that they're not ready for. And you're helping them grow, by doing that. So plug them into the groups, our coach group like this, and trainings and events, plug them into a support system. It's really, really important. So find out what people want and help them achieve it. And again, become a problem solver. You may change the slide.
You need to click on this.
I gotta click. Cool. Oh, do you want to go through this or want me to?
Where did that one come from?
I said I added in some extra slides. So this is really important. I want you to think about this, of knowing where people fit in your business. So think of these as 3 containers or 3 buckets or whatever, or 3 baskets. And where do your members and clients fit? Because you don't want to treat a customer like a business builder, because they may feel like they're under pressure and you might lose them. You don't want to treat your business builder like a client and just do follow-up, but not give them any tasks or anything or goals and help them aim towards things, because they're going to probably get bored and dissatisfied and not move fast enough. So you have to think, what do I do with each person and who are they and where do they fit? So you need to think, who's in my business and my client base and where do they go? So if they're a customer or a VIP member, put them on your Facebook group, continue with awesome follow-up, ask for referrals at suitable progress points, keep exposing them to the business opportunity, which is inviting them onto things, or invite them into Fit Club or a challenge or something like that, and then just show them how to get the different discounts. Because even a VIP member or a customer wants to get a higher discount, and if you let them know, they might have just got their tax return or whatever's happened and they can buy more product. Okay, these things happen. An active member, so that's someone that's got some retail customers, maybe some members underneath them as well. They should be on both groups, because if they're retailing, as far as I'm concerned, they're a coach. So put them on the customer group. So ours aren't called that, sorry. I think I stole this off Gav Morgan. The coaches group, make sure you put them on there as well and let them know what it's for. Don't just add them and go, you know, don't say anything. So, hey, I'm just going to add you on our client group. This is what it's called and this is what you do with it. And it's up to you whether you announce them. Sometimes I do a quiet one where I don't go overboard with the welcoming, because some people don't want that attention and other people do. So I just ask them. The coaches group, challenge yourself daily, adding them onto that as well and welcoming them and letting them know what's coming up, that the 10 calls are promoted on there and the recordings go on there as well. Learning the different presentations that we do, a wellness evaluation, the HOM, and then the scripts as well, the retail and recruiting script. Invite to any sort of support systems that you've got in your community, and invite to any events that you've got as well. Obviously, I have to change the wording on these because they're...
So a couple of things I'm going to look at that as I'm looking at that screen. Any person at any point can flip within those buckets. Remember that. So whether they're buckets, sections, however you want to look at it, somebody that's a customer could become a business builder, or an active member. Someone that's a business builder at any point in time may decide to go back to be an active member. So you got to remember that at the point where they say to you, hey, look, I don't know if I want to do this business anymore, you just can't write them off. You've just got to allow them to go back, because their life, whatever's going on in life that you don't know about.
They might be having a baby, or they've had to move house.
Could be anything, because this is the one thing we all forget. We all say at times, oh yeah, I know what you're going through. You haven't got a clue. I don't care if a person's going through something similar to you. We actually do not have a clue whatever someone else is going through. You just don't know. You may be close, but you don't know. So they may at some point need time to go back and just be a active member, get their discount until they're ready to come back the other way.
Yeah, like lovely Cheryl, who everyone got to meet at the STS. So it'd been a couple of years since we'd been in touch, even though she still stayed registered. All of a sudden now she's come along, she came to the STS, she's booked for the Success Summit, she's ordered some new career manuals and things like that. And yeah, so, you know, and I just said to her, I'm assuming you want to do the business because you've ordered those, and she said yes. So yeah. I think it's really cool. So, and now she's ready.
Yep. And since Shelley has obviously taken this from someone else and hasn't created these slides, I want to just clarify the bottom slide about Business Builder. Just because of the words it may say in there, that doesn't not mean you're not a business builder. So I'll use one that's really jumps home to me. Contributing content on both Facebook groups. Just because they don't do that does not mean they're not a business builder. They may have their own way or their own system. I have been and heard and seen where someone says, oh, they're not doing anything, they don't post on Facebook. And that person is still moving ahead, still going ahead, sure, but was disconnected from their upline because their upline said they don't post in the Facebook groups, they're not doing their business. Doesn't mean that's the case. Because we all do business at times differently. And that's important that's very important to understand.
Yeah. And yeah,
right?
So
it's great to interact. As Shelley goes crook at me often at the moment, I don't interact a lot because I have a lot of stuff going on in my head. I don't interact at the moment. But that doesn't mean I am not still helping and pushing the business to go forward. So I just want to make that clear, that you read some of those words and go, oh, well, I'm not doing that. That's not true. You are an individual and you build the business the way you are. If you want to take up a knitting group and go and build a business that way, go do it if it works.
Are you going to do that?
No, but...
And what's the acronym for WNWH?
Why Herbalife? Why now? So we're... they obviously don't.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. So I will update this.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify that, because it's very easy for people to go, oh, well, I must be... It's not the case. I need that really clear. It's not... And if you're not, must be training from the front room, yes, it's great if you are, because that's where you learn the experience. But sometimes we do not have the confidence yet to do that. Just because you can't stand up and talk doesn't mean you can't go out and do walk and talks. Yep. Doesn't mean you can't get people to turn up at an event, right?
Yeah. So the must would just be a suggestion. Yeah. So I'm not saying you have to. It's a guideline of what you could focus on being in that group.
I think it's important too to build your own confidence at your own pace.
Absolutely.
not everyone in the room is at the point where they're happy to get up and do the HOM. I've chosen to push myself to do that.
And you're doing it fully on your own this Saturday, is that right?
No.
Still not doing it fully on my own on Saturday.
Are you right?
I was just checking. Just because she said she was happy, I was just checking. Yes, you're right, Cara. Everybody has to go at their pace.
Yeah.
You have to be patient and just go at your pace. Yeah, it's important because a business builder, it really, to me, and without saying, someone will say, oh, you can't be this because you don't wear the right whatever clothes. That's garbage. You could be the person that never goes to event, which you're not going to learn as much if you do that, but you can still build a business. You need to be at the events to learn and hear the stories.
You could live in Alice Springs and
Yes.
it's just difficult for you to get things and you just have
To
or,
do
you know.
whatever you have to do. All right.
So this is a guideline. I will tweak that a little bit. Don't feel like there's anything, but obviously business builder is kind of where you're doing that consistently with ease, that 2,500 volume points a month or more. And so most people are going to sit in that active member, which is a great place to be because probably 80% of members are really in there, which is great. And so you've got that, okay, how am I going to build it up? So that's where you develop your confidence and then you can step up as you go. Because of course, you know what I do. I get everyone to share their results at the events and things that we're doing because I know the more you do it, the more natural it becomes and the more you grow.
And it is easier doing it at a local event because you know that most of the people in the room, you know, you're around all the time.
Yeah.
And you can build your confidence up that way.
Because my sponsor, Merv, was like, you go into the office, you're doing the HOM tonight. You're like, what? It's like you can't even speak properly. I'm going to pass out. So, you know, it's, and you can't do an HOM all in one breath because I tried, it doesn't work. You look like a beetroot just saying.
Yeah.
So you just do what you can do. But, you know, you've always got someone that will help you to move forward if that's what you want. You think, yeah, I wouldn't mind giving that a crack. Great. Let us show you how to do that. We're more than happy to guide you through. Just like when we went to the STS and there was that lady that
couldn't get it fell apart.
Yeah. And I was like, she's like, I don't think it's okay. You just come send us me. You just say your name and that. And anyway, she's all right. Yeah, even though she did cry but she got it out. The second time she did a bit better. But you know, sometimes you just got to help people step by step, and it's okay. Because obviously her sponsor wasn't there. She needed a little bit of help, retention.
So Shelley knows I love this because my business brain works in this moment. So as we were saying earlier, there is no point going out and doing lots of work, recruiting, which is great.
Or
retailing. And at the end of your financial year or whatever, there's no one left because you haven't retained people. So the best way to look at this is this. This is how I say it to Shelley. Whether you're recruiting or retailing one person every month or 10, and yes, we're always going to have dropout, and yes, there is always going to, you should be able to, so in other words, if we were recruiting 10 people a month, and at the end of the month, I'd lost them all, I've got to start to ask the question, am I talking to the wrong people? Am I recruiting the wrong people? Am I signing them up too early? Because it is a business, and it is a business that should slowly grow. And yes, out of the 10 that I recruit, for sure, there is going to be a percentage. Whatever that percentage is, will not continue. Absolutely. But it is about retention. It is probably the biggest thing you need to do, because if you want to build a wholesale and then a royalty income, you have to be able to keep people. It is important. And if you're not, then you've got to look at yourself and go, were they the wrong individual to start with? Or what didn't I do? It's a come back to that, which is really difficult to deal with, and we all struggle with this. How do I take extreme responsibility for what didn't work? And then how do I fix it?
So I think
and grow from it.
Yeah, knowing what someone wants. No pressure sales. I hate that.
Yep.
I can be firm and with something on how I encourage people, but I think it's just that healthy balance. And yeah, but the retention is so important. Screening out people well with your scripts, knowing that are they serious or just curious. I think that's really important as well. And then the right support system. Follow-up is so much. I know when I've let my follow-up slip, I know what happens. Don't do it. Learn from my experience. And I'm sure Irina can.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
follow-up is so important. So just always just do your follow-up. Like even Mark Hughes was listening to him in training when he said, who loves follow-up? No one put up their hand in the room and goes, no, I don't like it either, but you have to do it. And I take my follow-up pretty seriously. I take a lot of time out to little messages and things. Most people in the group know that I will, get back to you or message you or leave a little voice message or whatever it is, just to let you know, answering on your posts. If I see it, I will try my best to help, because I look at what you like. For example, Amanda and James had a skin post. That's not my computer going, what is it? It's gone. And you did the skin post. So I went, oh, yeah, I love those products. They guarantee to get results in 7 days. And then Cara came through and did another one. And, if you see people's posts like that, it's great. But the one thing I will say is make sure that go and have a look at your timeline. Make sure there's life all in between it, like a positive quote, the chooks, Lindy, in the garden, or whatever you're doing, book you're reading, something you've made, then a businessy post. I must admit, I don't put a lot of business posts on my timeline, as you probably noticed. I try and keep it free so that when I do it has more impact. Not always, but a lot of time. And then I'll share it off in a couple of groups. And then you could also ask people to share it for you as well. But we'll have a chat about that when we talk. So, which is cool. Okay, so just think of your business as a bucket with lots and lots of holes in it, and you're filling up the bucket with water, which is the people. And by mentoring and getting people into trainings and using the promotions and events, basically it's like putting plugging up the holes in the bucket so less of the water's getting out. So you're allowing the retention by making sure you do your follow-up and mentoring and support, plugging them into those events and trainings, and then using the different promotions as well to help them have their own goals to go for, because people need something to go for, really, they do.
Absolutely.
So just think the more of those things you have, the less water is going to escape, and then you're going to retain more of your people, whether it's clients, whether it's members. So it's a nice visual, isn't it, that one? That was from one of the, I think it was from the Future Get Academy with Gary. Bucket with the holes. So keeping good records. So make sure you treat your business like a business. User in business. And you've got the most amazing business. I think I'm pretty organized. Use a diary or planner. I love my diary. You know what I'm like. I write over it like a crazy person. I really use that diary. It's a well-used diary. You can use your phone. I know a lot of you Sync-in, which is great. Keep all your receipts. So generally what I do is I get my receipts, then I write what it's for, and then I give it to Ross.
So you give it to your in-house accountant. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I have a magic receipt taker out. Set up a separate bank account for your business. Definitely recommend that.
That's really good. And in today's world, there is so many, depending on who you bank with. There's plenty of sub accounts that you can utilize that actually you can easily do that within the same account system. So you can easily do that without costing you anything. And again, with bank accounts, if it's costing you money, you're with the wrong bank. Reality. The bank account shouldn't be costing you any money, unless the only way it will cost you money is if you set up a business account. And then again, that will. And the reason you need that at times, if you want to use things like Square or whatever, you'll need a business account. PayPal and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so mine cost me $5 a month for a business one. Filling out your retail order forms. I've got it here. So Beck's one, I've got it written out already. What she ordered. Then basically what I do underneath on the pink copy, because she gets the white copy, I'm going to post it out with an information pack. I've got how many volume points it was, how much it was at 50%, how much she put in, how she paid for it, the profit, so $136.48, and the order number. So I know that's all been done, and then I give it to Ross.
It does take time to train your partner how to fill out a pink receipt book, but
it took me 27 years.
So if it only took someone 27 years, it is a patient business.
There's hope for everybody. No, yeah. I have done before that. I just did it differently. Using your monthly gauge sheets. So I like the one that you came up with, Cara, for the group to track their thing. I still think we should do that on the 1st of November and just get that going to help people be more consistent, because that's really what it is. Just being aware of, this is actually what I did. This is what I said I was going to do. This is what I did, and here's the result. And if you did that for 90 days, did a 90-day plan, you'd be very surprised at the sort of momentum that can build in your business, and not just you doing it, but people in your team doing it. Use BizWorks to keep track of your volume. So obviously this time of the month, towards the end, I know it's the last few days, I'm probably keeping my eye on the volume, the downline volume, personally purchased volume. So I've got some goals to hit for those two. How much volume I need to do to reach my target. and then who I can contact. So I've gone through who's close to something that I can help them with, and let people know all the options in the marketing plan. Don't prejudge, let them decide, and look for a good bookkeeper or accountant when you're ready for that to happen if you don't have one already.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Right.
eventually.
I won't. It'll be too much for me.
No,
Okay.
you what's the word called? Like your time will be more valuable somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. With the BizWorks too, that's a decision you need to make at your own level and your own time zone when you do that, of how many clients you've got. Obviously, when you start out, you may only have one or two and you don't really obviously need it because you can track it through your downline volume. You can be talking to those people. You can also look at, once you become a supervisor, you actually can go into orders and look at all your supervisor order, which means everybody that's done an order under your ID number that are not supervisors. You can actually see what they've ordered. There is processes you can do before you need BizWorks, but BizWorks costs about $11 something plus the exchange rate. It works out just over $12 a month to definitely know exactly what's going on in your business. So there's a point where you will need to do that.
And when you qualify for Active World Team, you get 12 months free.
Yes.
So how's that? That's pretty cool.
If you don't already have it. Yeah.
I was so qualified for Active World Team. So it's just little tips and things that you can aim towards. I've always had a diary, but everyone knows what my filing system's like. If I've done your results, it's all over the place. But
it's alphabetical, isn't it?
It works for me.
Cool. And only you.
That's right.
Yes.
So some final tips: treat your team member like a client. I think this is really, really important. Help them get the best result possible. Teach them how to do good follow-up through example. Use the events to help you upgrade. This is what the events are for. Use them to help you. Make your job so much easier because guess what? It takes the focus off you and they can relate to other people. They just might hear one thing that will help them. Know what people want and give them the support they need accordingly. So what bucket are they in? Are they a business builder, volume producer, or a client? And either one is fine. And always offer the opportunity to everyone. Just get them to come and take a look. They've got absolutely nothing to lose. So promotions and events. So learn the art of promotion. This is something I was taught a lot by Gary. Pre-promotion, what's in it for me? Why would someone want to come to Luke on Saturday? What's in it for them? Is it his result that would be inspiring, trying yummy food, having a fun and positive environment, coming to the mindset session, they're interested in earning an income? What is it in it for them? Why would they want to go? So that's something you need to think about. Create the sizzle at the event, so good atmosphere, we're all contributing, being friendly, welcoming new people. Get that atmosphere. It's really important. It doesn't matter whether it's two people. So Linda, you might start your events with just one or two people, still create that good atmosphere, and then it'll keep building. And then post-promotion, taking photos and showing how awesome it was and creating that fear of loss, like, I wish I had been there. I'm sure, Cara, there was a few people that probably saw and went, I wish I had gone.
Yeah.
So a good way to like that is in a post promotion is like what Cara's weekend, but let's just utilize, say, Spectacular. You don't come home from Spectacular and tell the person what you learned. You should have been there. You should have. It was amazing. You should have been there, and you need to leave it alone. So they go, what did I miss out on? They need to feel like they missed out.
Yep.
Absolutely. So they want to be there the next time.
And
at one of the Let's Goes, I can't remember what the gentleman's name was, but he said to me, you just, like, for those that can't make it, didn't come when you invited them, you just got to say it was awesome. Sorry you missed it.
It was Paul.
Paul?
Paul.
Yeah.
And even the promotion of achieving the MAP program for Amanda and James. I love the picture, and I did the little light star thing. Did you like that little touch? And yeah, because it really it draws your attention in, and you've got this. And I'm glad I took those photos of you at Fit Club. Remember, I deliberately did that to make sure that when this happened, that there would be this photo of you smiling and happy. And then I put the nice little thing, and you got quite a bit of attention on that as well. So even just again following up, thanks for liking my post, really appreciate the spot. I know you put that on there, but even maybe individually going back to those people that have liked it or commented, and invite them on Saturday. They might not live here, but that's okay. Or say, hey, would you like an information pack or something, and we can help you with that as well. So yes, make sure you promote the Socks Off the event like it's the last event that's ever going to happen in Herbalife. If it was the last one, how would you promote it?
Shelley, if we get someone that likes like a Facebook post on a group
Yeah.
and we want to get back to them, like say they like the post about Luke's event on the weekend, but they don't actually send you a message or anything, what sort of a thing could we follow up with for
Yep.
that one?
I'll tell you exactly, because I had some people do that. So I had some people like the event. So it was 3 people. They haven't replied back to me, but that's okay. Let me find who they were. Here we go. So this one here. Hi, Evelyn. Thank you for your interest in our Let's Go November event with guest speaker Luke, who's lost 58 kilos. We're having a fun results recognition party at 12. We can enjoy lots of healthy and yummy treats using Herbalife Nutrition and hear some inspirational results. Blah, 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 blah. This is free. Let me know if you're interested. Or you could text me. Hope to see you there. Sincerely, blah, blah, blah. Something like that I sent. Might be a little bit long, maybe I should have made it shorter. But guess what I've got now? I've got the flyer, you're invited. So guess what? That's going out to them. So those 3 people will get the you're invited flyer so that I can send it to them as well. And look, they might not be interested, but if I do it to enough people, someone may come back.
Yeah, was that Evelyn Bonnick by any chance?
I don't know.
'Cause-
I did go look. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Your friend?
it's one of my friend's mothers. I actually, that was on my scary to call list. I actually rang her up, and yeah, she said she's interested, but she's not looking at coming on to product until after Christmas.
That's cool. Okay. Well, she hasn't actually seen the message.
That's fine. She says she's not interested about coming on a product, but if she got her to Luke,
Yeah,
that
that's why I invited her to it. I actually invited her 2 daughters as well.
Yeah.
And look, even if she had been messaged me back, that when we got to the event, we go, great, who invited you? Oh, I'm friends with James. So I'd always know how to thread them back in anyway. So,
Yeah.
are
I
you
was
friends
just
with her on
curious of
Facebook?
what you said. Hey?
Are you friends with her on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, it didn't come up. That's all right. I will, so I would just invite her again because it's free. She's got nothing to lose by coming.
Yeah, no, I was trying to just give her a bit of information sort of thing, a little bit of an insight to try and help bring her around to the idea because, yeah.
And James, do you want to talk about too, just because it's the retention side of things with your clients, what we're doing on Sunday with your clients?
Yeah, having a bit of a get together to just like have a bit of a social and try and because the both of them haven't been 100% with being on products so much. I mean, they're both sort of slacked off a little bit. Lisa is going to pick up some shake this week, but I don't think they're having as much product as they possibly should be. So yeah.
So we're just going to have a bit of a catch up at the beach and take the kids for a swim and just be able to throw a bit of conversation in there at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's my 10 kilo
that's right.
certificate.
No, I had to buy a new bathing suit to come this Sunday. The other one didn't fit.
James said his clothes are falling off. So.
There you go.
Yeah, my bells hold most of my shorts up these days. Hey.
Tight shorts on Sunday, James.
Yeah.
Might be a Kmart trip soon.
So here's Luke Fortescue. I would just keep inviting like crazy. And obviously I've got a few different types of invites depending on where I put them, but just use what you can and just keep inviting. And if you don't live in Gympie, who do you know in Gympie? If you're traveling to Gympie, fill your car up, whatever it is you've got to do, just do everything you can. That's how I look at it. So end of month, we've covered that. You've got until Thursday midnight or 11:30 actually for South Australia.
Actually, no, they're on
ahead.
sailing time
So
now.
is that 12:30?
Well, no, it would still be
12.
Yeah, if you said
I can't remember.
if you're still looking for business at that hour of the night, honestly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised what I do.
So I'm just saying that if you've got a goal, I write it down and then I can break it up. How can I achieve it? you know, who could I talk to? Who could I upgrade? You know, so I'm sure I could bring my dad. Dad, did you just buy some more energy? You know, whatever it is.
I look at it this way. I'm different. So if
You
I
are.
was still chasing business at 11 o'clock on the last day of the event,
People going millionaire team.
no, hang on. I would have to ask myself, was I doing it for the other 31 days of the month, or why did I wait till the last day to do it?
Sure. Okay.
And, you know, it's just a question you have to ask yourself. If I've got to wait to that last day to get my butt into gear to do something about it, I should have been doing it on day one if I was serious. Really, I should be.
I think it's that fear of loss on that last thing.
I get that, but seriously, I should then kick myself in the butt for the first day of the next month and do exactly that every single day.
Can I do that?
If you want to.
Okay, just planting the seed. I know we've talked about this. Teachers' gift ideas for the end of the year, making sure if you know anyone, it doesn't have to be your kids' teachers, but anyone's, you know, just letting them know that there's teachers' gifts available. You could get like a coffee mug,
Are they
protein bar.
marshmallows in that cup of Herbalife chocolates?
Marshmallows, I think.
Okay.
Protein bar and a lift off, and do like a teacher's survival kit. You know, you can make it fun and make some up and give them as gifts. So, you know, getting your team and your clients thinking about those sort of things, and then also presenting that the Herbalife products like the skin and the herbal aloe and whatever else it is. So you could have a New Year's Eve survival kit, hangover survival kit, you know, whatever it is, you can make it fun. And
Lift off.
yeah, lift off. Herbie
off,
beverage, aloe,
Okay.
all those sort of things. Because of course we got. Yes, that's right. So we could, and even how to a protein ball making kit. So you could have like a shake with the ingredients to how to make a protein ball with the recipe. And I know if Cara likes that one, she's running that down. So, you know, I just want you to get creative and have fun, and knowing that things that you could do and present it that way, take a photo of it and go, great, this, and make sure you factor in the costs of everything, just so you know, because remember, if you're in business, you need to make a profit. You deserve to make a profit. I know we're going a little bit over time, so thank you. The summit.
Queensland Success Summit. You don't have a dates on there.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's like that. Okay.
I didn't make that one.
Okay. November 16th and 17th. So yes, you need to be there. You need to hear from Jess Morgan, because exactly what we've been talking about over the last 2 weeks is exactly the way they did their business or run their business. So you might be interested in that. They basically did retail to recruit. That is how they built their business. Shake parties, all those sort of things. So whether that relates to you is one way to go and actually seriously listen to how they did what they did. Doesn't mean you have to build your business that way, but it's one way to. And remember, day one is training, and the Broadwater Cruise is open to all members. You need to have already got your ticket.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And day two is open to supervisors and above.
There's also one for New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia.
Oh, did they get one too?
Yep.
Okay,
and
cool.
WA. And so Jess and Gav, they've got 2 kids. They've just spent 7 months overseas traveling and taking their kids with them and doing their schooling while they traveled right throughout Europe for 7 months. And Herbalife paid for all of it. How cool is that?
So again, if one person can do it, it means it's possible. So if one person can do it, and anybody can do it.
I found some other photos of the boat and I put them up. Just get you imagining being in there, sitting in those seats, drinking your drinks, chatting, looking out. So I'm painting that picture and getting you visualizing that. So it'll be a great experience. Spectacular coming up the 17th and 19th of January. So start thinking about tickets, accommodation and airfare, who can you share with, and there's lots of really good options, and and traveling all together and being together is great. You've got Trey and Mamie Heron, who they're actually 6-diamond Chairman's Club now, 60K. Lovely, down to earth people, and you'll pick up a lot from them. They're actually kind of made some changes in their business, and they're going to be sharing what they did and what the difference was. And I just thought I'd do a nice little cityscape of one of the photo opportunities they had at one of the other years. Spectacular. So look, it's all of Australia and New Zealand together. There's normally around 2,000 people or so. I don't think it fits over 3 though. And it's a really great location, easy to get to. You're going to have fantastic 2 days of training, 3 if you're world team or active world team and above, I think. And yeah, I would just come to what you can come to and enjoy the party, the exclusive merchandise, lots of training and recognition. There's heaps and heaps of stuff for this one. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to going there with everyone and having an amazing time. So I think that might be it. Cool. So finishing with a quote.
Finishing with a quote. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day.
There's that consistency thing
There's
again.
that consistency thing. Yes.
So believing you can do it, knowing that you deserve it, and that, you know, we want all of you to succeed for whatever that is for you. Like, I don't have any expectations on anyone. Like, I can see things and I can see how I can help people grow and everything, but I don't like that pressure thing. I just think it's believing in someone more than they believe in themselves and seeing where that will take them. So did everyone enjoy that?
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Let me stop sharing so I can see all your amazing faces. There you are. Thank you, Mastermind Group. So thank you for being on the call. So I'm just going to stop recording so we can all chat before we jump off. So thank you for, and I know it's gone a little bit later. So, okay, we're going to stop recording now.